Well, February is Black History Month, and all month long here on WHAS 11 and right here on Great Day Live, we are celebrating with our Moments That Matter campaign. Charlene Shanklin is diving into these stories. Every year she does this, and she really brings them to life along with other members of the WHAS 11 news team. She joins us here now with a preview of this. Great to have you back.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
I always look forward to the way that you put these together, because it's not just something that you turn within. I mean, sometimes you get an assignment,
Right.
people know, and you're like, oh, I got to make my deadline.
Right.
You really begin taking an input and researching
I do.
who needs to be brought to light. Does that
Yes,
make sense?
absolutely
I mean,
it
you
does.
really get into it.
It does. And the first person that I wanted to talk about is Demetrius Holloway. Everybody says, who is this young man? Demetrius Holloway is a partner at Stites and Harbinson from Louisville, went to Central High School, and he won the Justice McAnulty Award, Trailblazer Award. And you say, what is that? The Louisville Bar Association named him the Trailblazer of the Year.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
what I said. Wow.
Yeah.
And he got his inspiration from so many people in this community, like Ernest Jasmine. If you know, he's one of the top African-American litigators back in the 70s and the 80s. He also talked about Justice McAnulty. And you know, Justice McAnulty was the first African-American at the Kentucky Supreme Court. He passed away in 2007, but he had so many accolades. And this young man is just simply phenomenal. I talked to him and I was just blown away. Now, you know, I normally do Black history. I start with a lot of history pieces,
Yes.
but I wanted to start with a trendsetter. Someone is doing something right now, today, in this community. He works in his church. His mom was his inspiration, being the only child. And he said she worked 2 jobs to make sure that he achieved his dreams. I know, tearjerker.
Oh.
Tearjerker. He went to Central High School. Central High School, JCPS, has a special program, and it's a magnet program, and they brought in a lot of attorneys, and that's where he got his inspiration. He said he loved how they commanded the room, and he wanted to do the exact same thing.
He's certainly doing that
Absolutely,
now in that kind
he
of a
is.
position,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
The next person that you're going to feature is a name that we know here in the community. And I
Always.
can't wait for you to, because I know you're going to peel back a different
Yes,
layer that
absolutely.
we all think we know.
Absolutely.
Sculptor Ed Hamilton,
Ed
right?
Hamilton, I love Mr. Ed, wonderful. Doug Prophet sits down with him, and we're actually going to dive deep.
so good.
I know, because you know everything about Ed Hamilton. Right now,
Yeah.
he's made national news because of the hat missing
Yes.
with Abraham Lincoln. He's redoing that hat. Of course, he's had sculptures all over the United States that people don't know about, the Amistad, Booker, so many in this world. But what he's going to sit down and talk to Doug about, and I want to read it. He says, his message to Louisville in the face of the city's ongoing violence.
Oh.
Wow. Yes. So he's going to address the violence that's happening in this community, talk about his milestone. I'm not going to say how old he'll be, but his birthday is on Valentine's Day. Don't you love it?
I love him.
I do, but he is just so
I could
wonderful.
listen to him.
Yes.
And I feel like his message is going to be one we all want to tune in for, because I think he sets a tone.
He does. He sets a tone. He's got so many projects. And we don't think of Ed Hamilton like we should. Louisville's own.
Yeah.
He is the world's own.
Yes.
The world's own. He has a memorial monument in Washington, D.C., where presidents
know
lay
that.
wreaths. Yes, this is called the Spirit of Freedom in Washington, D.C. And whenever there's a special holiday, presidents lay a wreath at the feet of these soldiers.
Oh, my goodness.
African-American soldiers. So
Look
Ed
forward to
Hamilton, yes, absolutely will be huge. But I've got one for you, Claudia.
One more. This is Garret Morgan.
Now, do you know who Garret
No, I
Morgan?
don't. I'm reading Kentucky Innovator, and I'm like, tell me more.
Famous inventor. He was born on March the 4th, 1877.
Oh, my goodness.
1877. He grew up in Paris, Kentucky. Garret Morgan. I went to the Fraser Museum, and I want you to know about this man. He created the one thing that we all hate because we get tickets all the time. What is that? Traffic stops.
Oh.
He created traffic lights.
From right here in the Louisville
Kentucky.
area? Are you
in
serious?
Kentucky, yes, ma'am. And he's the 7th child of 11. Yes.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Right.
He created the traffic
Did this
light.
one even go, was this because you know a lot?
Yes.
You don't get stumped many times, Shirley.
Yes, and I knew about this when I went to Sunday school as a young child. So I knew all about Garret Morgan.
Oh my
but
God,
the
what a
one
great
thing I'm going to
story.
talk about in my story, he created the gas mask. Yes, he has the first patent on the traffic light and the first patent on the gas mask. And there was a tragedy in Ohio, and him and his brother, they rushed him into this fire, and the water was rising, and they said, if you think this concoction would work, try it.
Let's try it right now.
He put that gas
Yeah.
mask on, went in and saved those
my
people and came
gosh.
back out. So this man is simply phenomenal. All across the United States, people know who he is.
Yeah.
In Ohio, they're renaming things after him because he's so prominent. He's got so many patents on things that you have no idea. He had the straightener for the hair. He had one of the first patents for that. I mean, this guy.
Does his family still live here in the
They
area?
descendants do live in Paris, Kentucky, and he has descendants and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren that live in Ohio.
How about that?
How you,
Wow.
unbelievable.
And
Unbelievable.
just too, it's like when you see like the patents that are placed on different things, you're like,
Yes.
why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't
Yeah.
I think of that?
Yeah. But being the first.
The first.
The first. And of course, you know, they've had a lot of
Traffic lights. That
a
blows my
traffic light.
mind.
Garret Morgan. So every time somebody gets a ticket, you go, thanks, Garret.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yes, but
for safety.
Absolutely,
right?
because at that time they were driving in all
Right.
different directions. They were just going around one
Wild,
another.
Wild West.
And Garret Morgan said, let's bring some uniform to this, and I'll need you to
it.
stop and start, stop and start. And he created the traffic light.
Great group of stories. I
Yes.
cannot wait. You'll see the promotions that will go around
Yes.
to say which one is airing when, but
Yes.
you can check out everything at WHAS11.com/moments. There you can follow along. All the stories will be reposted there if you didn't catch them on the news and on social as well. Shirley, always great to see you.
Good
Thank
to see you. Thank you.